Greetings, everybody. Welcome here this afternoon to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So it's time, it's that time again where we do an album side. That's what we're here to do. Thursday night, album side, 8 o'clock release. I hope you can be there to see it. So I was looking at a few different albums, and I chose this one. Nazareth's Hair of the Dog, side 1, which I think is pretty next to perfection. Got a little bit of everything going on here, but basically I love it because it's really beefy and heavy and, almost blistering at times. So some people seem to think that heavy metal is heavier than hard rock, and that's the classification in which you rank them. I don't think that way. I think it's the sound. I think at times hard rock is heavier than heavy metal. Heavy metal is a sound to it and an image to it that makes it heavy metal, in my opinion. But there are some hard rock songs that are absolutely blistering, more heavy than some metal songs are. And that's the case with Nazareth, who I think of as, like AC/DC, they're a hard rock and roll band. They are not a heavy metal band, not in my opinion anyways. So Hair of the Dog, of course, is the opening track on this album. The one that most people would know if they heard it. The other one might be Love Hurts. There might be a few others, Razzmatazz, that kind of stuff that people might remember. But definitely that Now You're Messing with the Son of a Bitch line is going to be remembered as a Nazareth line for sure. So Hair of the Dog starts this out. A killer track with everything you can possibly want in a hard rock song. Heavy, beefy. The lyrics are nasty in some ways, and raw. And the vocalist Dan McCafferty is absolutely on his mark with this particular song. Absolutely killer track. So then it followed up by an even beefier and more absolutely ripping kind of blistering tune. That's the best way to describe Miss Misery. This is a blistering, heavy song. Just like the riff is so catchy. It's a memorable song. Should have been a bigger hit than it was. I've seen it played live on the videos. I think it's absolutely killer track. It probably is my favorite Nazareth song. It's my favorite from this album, and I suspect that as of right now, it's probably my favorite Nazareth song. Now, I've only had a couple of albums by them. The only other one I have at the moment, it was the first one I bought, which is this one, Expect No Mercy, which is waiting its turn in my playlist. It was probably, I had it longer, but when I got this, I decided I would put this one in the playlist first because I was more familiar with it. So that Miss Misery, fantastic, blistering song. Next song out is very different from the first two. Guilty. This is what we would call in Nova Scotia a hurting song. Very bluesy, very sad in all kinds of ways. Typical alcoholic song, And Dan McCafferty delivering the vocals on this really makes this a great song. I'm not a huge fan of this type of songs, but in this particular case, I do like this track quite a bit. Definitely making it another strong song on this side. And then we get to the final track on this on this side of the album, Changing Times. Yeah, another blistering, heavy, catchy as hell song. Lots of riffing here. Just the lyrics again strong, the vocals powerful. Yeah, just a real catchy song. You'll find yourself when you're listening to these four songs, at least the three blistering ones, you're gonna find yourself wanting to sing along. It's just almost contagious. It's so hard to resist. And for me, that makes this a perfect side of an album, or a near perfect side, because perfection is, I don't think I've ever given a song a 10, except for maybe one song or two songs. But even those songs are not 10s anymore, but they were, initially I would have given them 10s. But yeah, just absolutely killer. Killer tracks here. Yeah, I could listen to this over and over and over and not get bored with it. And the rest of the side and the rest of the other B side is not as good as the A side, but it's still very good compared to a lot of bands and a lot of albums. And of course, the artwork on this album, if you can see up close here, fantastic. Looks like a bunch of birds or bats or something of that nature. I'm not even sure what they're eating there, or if they're even eating. I don't even know. I think they're eating something, but I don't really know. The artwork here is great. I've seen this on another band has this band artwork as well. Fantastic, absolutely killer. There's some bonus on this particular CD. There's some bonus tracks too. Love Hurts, of course, is one of those bonus tracks. So hopefully you get to experience this album and this album side. This is a classic album side to me. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe. Put your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And we will be back here next week when we'll be ranking some songs off of an album. So take care and have yourself a good one. Goodbye.